What's going on, man? This is your big brother K-Rino. And look, I got to break down another quick example of privilege and entitlement. Just another whiny guy who has enjoyed nothing but success his whole career, yet the first time he thinks in his little feeble little mind that that success may be threatened, he starts losing control and starts flinging out accusations and breaking down. And that's Nick Saban. Slick Nick Saban is regarded as one of, if not the greatest college coach of all time. He has won multiple national championships. And even if he doesn't win the national championship, he's right there in the mix. He's right there either losing in the championship game or right before. So he has enjoyed so much success that there would be or should be no reason for him to be complaining and whining about anything. But he made an accusation about Texas A&M, which is, to me, that's just the first part. I want to get to why I'm really talking about it in a minute. But he made an accusation about Texas A&M program, stating that they bought every player on their team. Everybody knows for years, it's been illegal for college recruits to be paid to come play for a certain university, but you would have to be a fool to not know that this has been going on for years and years and years, in all of the major sports, football and basketball in particular. They will pay guys and slip guys the money here and there to come to their schools, and it happens. Now, he said that A&M paid every player, bought every player on their team, right? So the coach of A&M came back and fired back Jimbo Fisher, he fired back and Nick Saban, and he also kind of put something in the air, like, hey man, this dude talking all this talk, slinging all these accusations out here, but look, it's things we know about you, homeboy, that if we put out, you wouldn't feel too good about some of the stuff we're saying about you. So don't let your arrogance, because you have been successful, get you jammed up. Because it's kind of like anything that goes on, in the hood or whatever. It's like everybody knows who's doing what. But as long as you don't bother me, I ain't gonna bother you. But it's always that one that's doing dirt that they get full of themselves, and then they decide they're going to start talking about everybody else as if we don't all know what you be doing. So Jimbo was like, okay, well, all right, since you want to go there, me, along with a lot of other people, know how you get down. Now, he didn't go into specifics, but that's how he put it. I'm doing the hood translation of what he said. So Nick also said, which is the part where I really jump in my mind, he just took a random shot at Deion Sanders in Jackson State. See, Jackson State recruited a young man by the name of Travis Hunter, one of the top players in the entire country. And this individual, this young brother, he could have went to any school that he chose, to any of the top schools. He could have went to Alabama, Notre Dame, LSU, any of the big schools you could think of. He could have went there, full ride. But he chose to go play with Deion Sanders in Jackson State. So Nick Saban, it's just my opinion, my belief, Nick Saban, being the arrogant, privileged, entitled cat that he is, he felt some kind of way about that. So his thing was to just blatantly outright say, well, he didn't even say their names, but he said Jackson State. He said that they paid Travis Hunter $1 million. Didn't say who it was and what school it was, but everybody knew who he was talking about, which immediately sprung Deion Sanders into action. And he addressed the lie, is exactly what he called it. He addressed the lie that Coach Saban told. And even Travis Hunter himself tweeted about it like, man, I ain't know I had $1 million. My mama still staying in a 3-bedroom house with 3 children. Man, I ain't know I had $1 million. Being sarcastic. But what made this dude, number one, throw that out there like that and tell that lie like that. And then what made him attack Texas A&M? I'll tell you what it is. I've told you already what it is. It's the entitlement and the privilege. The rich always want to get richer. And once your level has risen to a certain height and everybody is lauding and praising and applauding you as being this great, great, great man, this great coach, and you get so used to people just, kissing the skin off your behind every single day, yes men and all these different things, and you have benefited greatly off of the talent, particularly of young black athletes who don't receive compensation. You now feel like any of the top athletes and recruits that come down the pike, you should have first crack at them. You should get them because, hey, I'm Nick Saban, I'm me. And it really bothered you to see that black man, Deion Sanders, who has way more, he has way more pull than you think. You think because you've been in the college coaching game all these years, you think that you have more pull and that you should have been easily more able to get that recruit than Deion. But no, it's about relatability. It's about relatability. It's about seeing somebody that has walked in your shoes that you can connect with, and that's what led that brother to come to play with Deion. So all that other little speak and spiel that you use to get athletes in didn't work. And here's the mindset. You practically get everybody you go after. But when you don't get one, you lose your mind. See, that's an example of arrogance and greed and all that rolled into one. And again, I keep using this word, entitlement. I was supposed to get him. Not this little HBCU. Going to play for little HBCU. I was supposed to get him. So since I didn't get my way that one time, now I'm shooting shots at everybody. But again, you got to be careful, because don't let your ego get you jammed up, because you got a closet too. Apparently, according to Jimbo Fisher, you got a closet too. And this is bigger than just Nick Saban and what. This is a world situation. Everybody think about this in a macro. People pointing fingers, and you got dirt too. What if this dude decided to say, okay, man, let's go on and pull everything on Nick that we know, and he made it a point to say that he wasn't the only one who knew and felt this way. So Nick did what? Nick came out and apologized. Heard up and thought about it. Then wait a minute. Yeah, I did get a little too crunk on that one, man. Man, my ego, it got the best of me on that one. But yeah, Jimbo do know how I get down. And hell, Deion might know how he get down. See? And all this time, man, this dude makes about $10 million a year. I'm talking about Nick Saban. He makes close to $10 million a year, according to what I read. And has been in a game where the athletes were never allowed to be paid. They just passed a little thing last year that allowed athletes to be compensated for what they call NIL. And NIL is name, image, likeness. People in the music industry are very familiar with NIL, with that term, because that's something that a lot of young artists lose when they sign on the dotted line. When they sign a contract, the labels take control of the majority, a large percentage, or in some cases, all of the player's name, image, and likeness. So any revenue that's generated from that name, image, and likeness goes to the label. It was the same case with college athletes for all these years, because they could sell a jersey of the top college player in the game and he wouldn't get a dime of it. They could sell anything that reflects his image. not necessarily directly showing that it's him, but we know that's who you implying that it is, and you can make money off of that. So now the players can make bread off their name, image, and likeness. And a dude who makes $10 million a year, he seems to be feeling some kind of way because he wants to keep the slaves on the plantation. Basketball is much worse, because that's the whole argument about the little one and done thing. They didn't want basketball players, young black basketball players for the most part, to be one and done because it cuts into the money. We only get this dude, we only get to milk this dude for 1 year. And in football, man, you talk, man, some of these stadiums, some of these games, man, they got 100,000 people coming to these games. So they make so much money off of these young men. And you want to be in your feelings if you lose one. Because, hey, look, that's cutting into my bread. See, Nick Saban is no different from many of these other clowns out here, man. He presents himself as being so dignified and just so honorable, but nah, man, these cats be lower than a snake's belly, and they know it. And that's why he apologized, because he sat around, he thought about, uh-oh, I might have went too far on this one, man. But his thought is, how can a kid of that caliber, who I'm used to getting, how can he end up at that school? Because that school is a black school. And you're going to start seeing a lot of young top recruits start to do that, man. Start going to HBCUs or start to go play with black coaches who they connect with, and they're going to be passing up these big name programs. You're going to start seeing that a lot. Watch. Because this young brother, Travis Hunter, he set a precedent that a lot of young people are going to follow, especially once he comes out of college. Is still a high draft pick into the NFL, and people are going to look at that because it's always been the thing where you got to go to a big school so you can be on national TV, that everybody can see you, the scouts and everybody, you get that good look that will raise your draft status. Watch when this young man still gets drafted high and still comes into the league as one of the top players in the draft, and then turns out to be a great player if he does. You're going to see a lot of young brothers going, man, I ain't got to worry about, I can stay home, I ain't got to go out, and I ain't got to worry about all this stuff. Watch. So Slick Nick, good try, homeboy. But it's a new day. It's a new day. It's your big brother K-Rino, man. I'll catch y'all later on with another one. Peace and love.